Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
Here we go with the Thursday KVJ After the Show podcast.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, baby.
So juicy.
Oh, yeah. Getting ready for a possible KVJ 5K tonight. I'd say it's going to go down. It sounds like it's only going to be if we get hit with the extreme weather. I think we're going to see rain. It's likely. But without wind and lightning. Just didn't see any real lightning last night. Was there lightning? No, I did see one strike of lightning.
I did see some lightning on a couple different occasions.
Yeah. Now we're going to figure it out today, this afternoon. So probably by the time you're listening to this, we've probably already made a decision. So just jump over to the KVJ Show Facebook page if you're thinking about coming out to the KVJ 5K tonight, and you'll find out your answer there if it's still on.
Just start stretching right now, and if we don't have it, you're stretched out at least.
Yeah. Stretch yourself out and then go to the bar.
Boom. Sometimes, I'm thinking about a couple times in my life where I should have stretched out before going to the bar.
Every time I go to the bar, I stretch out. Yeah, I'm ready to go. Let me see. Got some emails here. A lot of people sent us a lot of stuff about the shooting in Vegas. I've kind of gone through, some of it, just kind of like a weed some of it out. A lot of it's stuff that you've already heard before, and some of it is the fringe fanatical talk that often happens with these kind of things. And, you're seeing a lot that is coming out of it. But we did get an email from Jennifer, and she said, please stop running the story about the woman warning concert goers that they were going to die. It's fake. The below link is a Washington Post story listing various fake news stories, Facebook posts, and tweets. So I went and I looked at the list that they had on there. And, yeah, some of them were, misidentification, stuff like that. But I wanted to look particularly at the one she was pointing the finger at. And I said, okay. My question was, because I went and looked, and in the Post, they say, in that interview, a woman identified as Brianna described a strange moment minutes before the shooting where a woman and her boyfriend were kicked out of the concert by security after the woman warned some audience members that they were all going to die or something to that effect. If the account of this interaction was accurate, it would certainly be eerie, but BuzzFeed talked to the firm in charge of security at Sunday night's concert, who said that nothing of the sort happened. So my question back, I know she wants to stop talking about it, but I'm like, I still have a question because there is an interview. I saw the video on it.
I watched it yesterday. I watched it 3 times yesterday.
On a local Vegas TV station when they were saying 2 dead, and it was right after it happened with a girl that was very distraught on a local Vegas station that was crying and talking about this woman saying, yes, she was in the front row 45 minutes before, telling us that we were going to die, and security took her out of the venue.
It's been on so many things. I've seen it several times. So it's out there. There is a news report of it.
So my question back to Jennifer was, so is that girl lying or a paid actor? I'm just kind of curious what that is. I see that. They're saying that that's a hoax. Stop spreading it.
Well, then who's that chick?
Right.
Now, was it somebody that was posing as a news station? If that's the case, then all fucking hell's breaking loose because you're never going to know what's real.
It was filmed off of a TV that was being broadcast. So somebody would have had to create a false banner, recorded that, put that on a TV, someone then recorded that off of the TV and then put that back on.
I could have swore I saw another one that was not recorded from a TV.
I believe so. I saw it a couple different places. And I asked her that question. She said, possibly. I don't like to accuse anyone. Could she have gotten swept up in what was going on? Was she drinking? It was a concert. So much confusion on the scene, I'm sure.
Look, lady, no offense, but this is a news thing that's been going out. That interview exists, and it's still out there.
Yeah, so the only thing that I would say is just because the Washington Post puts it in their article of things that are a hoax, and they did say this. They say, the woman warned some audience members that they are all going to die, or something to that effect. Which, when you say something to that effect, it's almost like, did you even see the video? Or are you just saying, you're grouping this in with your list of hoax, Washington Post, and you say, or something to that effect. When you say something to that effect, you typically are trying to generalize something because you haven't actually seen it. And all they do is they then reference BuzzFeed talked to the firm and said no one was kicked out of the venue. So
no one was kicked out of the venue the whole night.
That's according to BuzzFeed, the one in charge of security.
You ever been to a concert?
Nothing of that sort happened is what they said. Not that no one was kicked out of the venue, but nothing of that sort happened where someone was saying.
But here's the thing, though. BuzzFeed, Yahoo, all of those fucking things are wrong constantly.
Yeah, so I know that Jennifer's calling us out and said, stop running the story about the woman warning concert goers, but...
well, stop emailing us.
Well, that's my whole point on it. I'm like, okay, well, explain it away to me then and give me a good explanation. I'm like going... Yeah, you're right. That does seem kind of hoaxy because I'm sorry, the Washington Post article you sent to me and then your follow-up explanation of, well, maybe she was just traumatized or whatever. Yeah, maybe. But at the same time, that's would be a simple answer, and maybe that girl's that, and maybe somebody should do a follow-up and just say, hey,
thank you.
This girl realizes now, and there were a lot of people that were traumatized, and there were a lot of things that people were seeing or thought they saw, and there could be good explanations to it, but it doesn't mean that you don't report it or talk about it because you would want to say, hey, we can check off that box now.
It's out there.
Who was that woman and what was going on? We can check off that box. People reported seeing multiple shooters. Well, maybe it was people that just had concealed carry, and they were trying to find a shooter and try to stop them. That's what people saw. Well, if we can, say that, then we can check off that box too. Because, that's really what we got to do. Everyone's got to ask a lot of questions, about all this stuff that's going on and get some information because all of our safety is always, anytime, if you're a person, the only person that saves a person never leaves their home. And even then, I don't know if you're safe. If you ever go out in public.
Kevin.
You're right. If you ever go out in public, then I think you have a right to question these things and want to know what the answers are. And that's a video that I saw that give me a plausible answer. Just don't tell me it's a hoax. Be like, okay, why is that a hoax? Why?
Well, you're
Was
not
that a
the only
hoax?
person that's asking what's up with that chick. Look, if a mass shooting happens and then you've got reports of a girl saying there was someone saying they're going to kill us, we're all going to die, and that interview exists, I'm sorry, you got to ask questions about that.
Yeah, just give me the answer. That's all it is. And if somebody's like, if you can, don't just say it's a hoax.
Tell me how you know it's a hoax.
Right, and don't say, well, look, the Washington Post said it's a hoax. Well, I just read what they gave as an explanation, and I don't feel awesome about it. I'm like, well, tell me more. That wasn't enough for me to be like, oh, yeah, okay.
Nope, Kevin, shut up. Got to stop talking about it.
Yeah, that's just where I say, give me a little bit more in there. Not just that. So, yeah, I still have a question about that. I would not move that into the hoax category.
We got called out, but Kevin saw that call out with another call out.
Yeah, I'm calling her for calling out Kevin.
It's a reflexive call out.
It is still out there, and people are still talking about it and saying it's a legit news story. So, sorry if we don't have the expert scrutiny to tell a legit-looking news story from something that could be a hoax and could be real. We're just trying to do a fucking job in here.
There it is.
Well, there it is.
That's
Don't
what
don't call out my beady-eyed brother.
That's right.
I'm gonna come for you.
I like that. Beady-eyed brother, the Salsa Boys. You on a roll with nicknames this week.
It's all good. I think at the end of it, just when I asked Jennifer, I'm like, okay, well then what did I? And I sent her the link. I said, here's the video. Here's what I saw. Just all right. So what is this?
Explain this away.
Yeah, and I'm just kidding with Jennifer when I say don't email us. I'm just kidding.
Yes,
email us, but
yes.
but you know.
But just know that if you call us out, we're gonna call you back out, and we're gonna have a discussion about this.
Oh, we're gonna
either
get
one of two
overly
things.
mad.
Either I will say and there are things, and I try to really scrutinize them and say whatever. And when I saw that, I'm like, okay, this. To me, is a great question. I just haven't heard the explanation yet. Don't just say it's a hoax. Give me why.
And we're also not doing that to be a dick either.
No.
We're just trying to inform people the best we can.
We would never want to spread misinformation
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah, and so we stayed away. I mean, like Brittany sent us an email. Is talking to Brittany said, of course that girl in the video didn't make it up, but I bet you will never hear anything else about her. And, of course, you're going to get called out, and the Washington Post is going to say it was a hoax. They always post false stories. They've even apologized to the president for it, blah, blah, blah. False flag. You hear a lot of that going on right now.
That's the big thing right now, false flag. Well, as soon as there's a tragedy now, there are people that look for these paid actors. We were talking a little bit about, this is one theory, that news people, the tragedy happened. But the news stations bring in actors to give them that soundbite. They know that's going to be over the top and that's going to go along with their narrative.
It's part of a manipulation plan that is trying to cause these major things to push the sentiment of a public in a certain direction. And a lot of people believe that there are these people that are pushing for one big world government kind of thing.
And it's weird, too, because they've made, and I'm not saying any of this is real, but it is weird if you look at some of the videos on stuff. Kind of like that brother you said, he's acting real weird. There's a lot of really odd act. Like, it looks like it's over the top. And it just doesn't look natural.
Yeah, like Stephen Paddock's brother.
It's just
that's who we're talking about.
When you watch it and go, huh, all right, that kind of hits me a little weird for some reason.
Feels odd.
It feels odd. I'm not saying that it's real, but there is a huge montage of those types of things out there.
Yeah, and my take on it, honestly, is I don't believe in the elaboration of the acting and keeping all these people quiet. I would say, yeah, it is possible that people are getting these killers or they're manipulating people in a way to do bad things because they do believe it could shift the sentiment of the public. That's possible. And that's as far as I'll go. But, yeah, I don't go as far down the rabbit hole as a lot of these people in this. And, even if it is, I think even Brittany ended her whole thing with, what the hell? Yeah, she said, it's sad, but unfortunately there isn't a damn thing we can do about it. So that's kind of like, for me, I'm like, okay, even if this stuff is going on, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it because there's really nothing me in my position right now can do about it. So, that's why I don't go too far down that rabbit hole. Somebody, Mandy, in the chat room, if this is legit, she said the sheriff in Las Vegas is now saying that he believes that he did have help. So,
look,
there
man,
could have been somebody else involved with it.
They don't want to rule out the fact that somebody could have helped them. I heard this explained on CNN yesterday by one of the FBI guys.
I know, but again, though,
They
CNN.
They don't want to rule it out because then they have to come back afterwards and say, oh, I know we said it was just one lone guy, but now we realize it was 3. So they always assume there's more than one so that they can come back and say, we've done our due diligence and we now know it was just one. So they don't rule out the fact that there's more than one in the beginning.
We don't know. I mean, as it is right now and where we stand, they've got to collect a lot more information, got to do a lot more investigating, and then hopefully, once the thing that's great right now is hopefully a legitimate GoFundMe page is collecting millions of dollars for the victims and their families. That's good. We need to take care of them, help them to move on with their lives. And then for everyone else who's still concerned about their public safety is we need to answer questions from this so that we can hopefully find good remedies to make our society safer. And that's how it's all got to go.
Okay, we're sounding really level-headed and logical right
I
now.
know.
I don't know if that's going to go real well.
I hear you.
Always
Probably not.
Kevin. Kevin is always that.
Damn it, Kevin, you're making too much fucking sense.
Got this email from Corey. He said, with all the craziness going on and with my military background, currently doing security as a civilian, I do not walk out of my door without carrying my handgun concealed and normally a long gun and a vest in the back of my car because you just never know. And I hope I never have to put one on and have to step up. People always ask personally and at work, do you really need a gun? I explain that it's like a fire extinguisher. I would rather have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So that is his thing. So the gun debate is going to be front and center here in the country the next probably 6 months.
It makes sense. I totally hear what he's saying.
I hear him
because
too.
God forbid you're in a scenario like imagine you're in your house and all of a sudden some lunatics kick your door in and you don't have a gun. In that moment, I bet you your ass, all of us would I wish I had a gun so I could just take this crazy mofo out.
Yeah. My dad always has 2 on him at all times.
I've debated back and forth getting a gun for that very reason right there, but then I've always come back to no because
I know.
I'm too afraid
I'm more
of the
like
gun.
you. Yeah, there were 2 stories this week that I was even telling Kim last night because she's leaning towards the gun. And there was a guy in Sarasota that was cleaning his gun. It went off. He shot and killed his 22-year-old son.
I saw that. That was heartbreaking.
There was a 4-year-old girl that got a hold of a gun and, those deaths. And so those are 2 in 1 week. So, you see those stories. And that's why for everyone out there, don't push your agenda one way or the other on somebody. It's a very personal decision somebody's got to make.
And most of us that are in the middle, like we are, struggle and go back and forth day to day thinking, should I, shouldn't I? I don't know. I always come back to, I think I could do more harm than good with a gun.
Yeah, and that is legitimate because I will tell you, my dad, he sits there and practices speed loading. He's got speed loaders so he can go through rounds because he's got a revolver on one, and he goes out, practices about 3 times a week. Every weekend he's out firing the thing to check it, and he rates his accuracy, kind of like somebody goes to the gym about how much they're lifting. That's what my dad does. So that's the kind of person you want around you. I feel better when I'm with my dad because I'm like, he's on it, he's got it, he knows it, he loves guns, he knows how to deal with it.
not all guns are. I mean, the people who love guns. There are some people who are in competitions that are marksmen. As far as they're not shooting animals, they're shooting targets.
Yeah.
And there's a whole movement, and there's competitions with that.
Yeah.
I just hope if anything ever shakes down, your dad, Sweet Drew, is around.
Yeah. Oh, he would love to be. He's waiting for his opportunity.
So what's the rule? I'm sitting on my couch and a guy busts through my living room. Okay, now he's now in my room, but he's not attacked me. But I'm like,
Yeah.
holy shit, someone just broke into my place. If I had a gun on me, am I able to shoot him dead
Yes.
because he broke in?
In Florida, there's a stand your ground. Absolutely. He's in your house.
Now, are there-
You're fearing for your life. You can kill him and you will not be in trouble.
Now, are there other states, the same scenario, I shoot him and then I get in trouble?
You have to know the laws. And the one thing my dad did, my dad's an attorney in Ohio. And of course, my dad is Mr. by the book with everything. He did research on Florida's gun laws. And then he called to make sure, and he let the proper authorities know he was traveling and carrying and packing and
He's
all
like
this kind of
overly
stuff.
safe.
He knew
Yeah.
every last little detail. When he's in a car, he goes through the laws of every state he's going to travel through to find out what their concealed carry laws are, because they change state by state. So if you want the answer to that, you'd have to give a state, and then I could have my dad on the line. He'd be happy to answer because he probably knows every single
He knows
state.
every state he's driven through.
He does, yeah.
I guarantee
he knows
you
the laws.
that.
He could tell you South Carolina, Kentucky, all that, Tennessee.
I guess, in quick, is there some states where if you were to shoot somebody and they broke in, you could get in trouble?
I don't
Absolutely, yeah.
know.
Florida's very liberal in their stand the ground. That's not typical, I don't think, of a lot of places.
Yeah.
Florida liberal, Texas liberal, some of those states like that. At
Like
least
some states that say, oh no, he's got to charge you and grab you for you to use force.
conservative states are liberal with their gun laws. Liberal states are conservative with their gun laws. That typically seems to be the measure for a lot of them. So it flip-flops on that. So yeah, definitely if you live in a state, do research on that. So anyway, that's some of the latest.
If you did have a gun and you saw someone break into your house,
Yeah.
would you right away shoot to kill, or would you just try to how would you handle that?
I would dissuade them. I would talk to them, and I would
Yeah.
warn them, and I would say, hey, it depends upon how fast they're coming at you or
Sure.
what is happening.
Yeah, I get it.
But if somebody is there, I'll be like, hey, I have a gun.
You would
and
try to
your
talk
next
your
step,
way out of it before going to blaze.
Your next step, I will shoot. So your next step needs to be in that direction. If there's one more step in this direction, then you will have several bullets in your body. So you figure out what you want to do. It's your choice. At this point, I love to
life's
people
choices.
break into my house. I love to give them options.
You're a nice guy.
You're here, yeah. Normally, I offer you, would you like a beer or a soda? For you, it's going to be bullets or not. You make your choice.
This motherfucker ain't got no soda in his place.
No, we actually
Soda.
do. We got soda. We got soda.
Yeah, you do.
For the kids, yeah. Yeah, for the kids. For the kids.
When's the last time you've had a real soda?
Real soda?
Yeah, like a Coke or a Pepsi.
You know what? Weirdly enough, not a whole one. But I gotta tell you, there are times there is nothing better in your mouth than a soda. Like there's a certain kind of thirst.
and ice that goes along with it.
Ooh, and it's ice cold. Yeah, we have kind of like the Coke Zeros or whatever in every now and then. I'd say probably once a month, my wife and I will be like, let's go for it.
Do you get that
We do
feel?
it. Yeah, it's
sometimes
fantastic.
soda can be so good. If I haven't had it in a day or two, I'll drink it. It's almost like my mouth is coming. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh, it is amazing.
My eyes roll
But
back.
it's a weird thing. It's
I
got.
could have done without that visual.
Yeah, that was a little graphic.
I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so good.
Thing about soda is it's got diminishing returns. That the first drink, whoa, is that second drink's like, that was still good. Third drink, but it's like by the fifth or sixth, I'm like, nah, okay. That's why we don't go through much.
Oh,
it's
man.
that one
That's
that
why
breaks
I get
the
those.
seal. Yeah,
There's little tiny cans.
that's a good move. Yeah,
That's the ones that we buy in our house.
you get what you need, and then because I found that like the last 4 to 6 ounces of it, I'm like, nah.
I hadn't had a
First 6 are amazing.
I had a Slurpee in a minute. Me and Denny went to 7-Eleven. I get this big ass Slurpee, and I'm drinking. I'm like, oh.
I haven't had a Slurpee in years.
They're
But you know me, I love something free.
They're so good.
On free Slurpee day, we went to 7-Eleven and Mags got one, and I was like, screw it, I'll get one too. And I was like, whoa.
It was like
I felt like I was 13 again.
See?
Trying to icy for the first time. I was like, what is going on?
You were making sounds like, oh.
Okay, let's see here. Got an email from April talking about the Cam Newton thing that happened today, and the reporter that is in this, Jordan Rodriguez, is her name. I don't know anything about this the girl or really what's going on. I just read the story today, so my knowledge on this is limited. But Cam Newton was answering a question. She was asking a question about route running, which, you know, that is pretty intricate stuff. I was reading something, and I'm a big Buckeye fan, and I was reading something about route running with Johnny Dixon, a guy that went to Dwyer High School. It's at Ohio State. And I was like, oh, wow, I don't know anything about this stuff. This is next level.
I've heard that before, though. The word route running has definitely been said.
Yes, but you get into complexities of it. Bump run, these kind of things, and I was like, "Oh wow, okay, that's pretty. Yeah, it's intricate. It can be. I mean, yes, the simple concept of route running is not, but the intricacies of route running are complex.
Just know you're not going to say much to make her not want to bite Cam Newton's head off.
Oh, I'm not. I'm just trying to lay out, you know, what it is. I've already gone on record. I think the way Cam answered that is wrong. I would tell him, and if I was PR person, be like going, yeah, you made it gender specific when you threw out female, and that was unnecessary. And then you tried to come back and say I was talking about all reporters.
No, you weren't.
Which still, even then, I would say, you know,
insulting.
Don't minimize these people, because a lot of these reporters really do study the game and they know a lot. I mean, if they're very good, they may understand the game, probably not to the level you do, but they're probably not far off.
Not the practical application part, but they can absolutely understand the book stuff of it.
With that said, though, there are a lot of reporters out there that are they're there to goat you. They're there to really.
She was not goating
She
him
wasn't.
because we heard her question.
You're right, not her, but we're talking about reporters like they're there. Oh, they're so nice and peaceful. Bullshit.
Well, not her. She wasn't trying to cause any trouble.
Yeah.
But now I think she's taking advantage of the situation, which I think is awesome.
Well, it was the thing at the end where she had said that she went up to him in October. She just started working for, like, I think it's the Charlotte Observer is the name of the paper. And she's like going, do you know who I am? And he's like, no. I don't know who you are. And she's like, well, here's my name, Charlotte Observer, and just kind of like walked away with a little bit of like sass and attitude.
This is before this happened?
This is, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there might have been a little bad blood going on.
Well, I don't know. I think the way I took it from this, and, you know, hey, you can't blame her, but it sounds like, yes, she's definitely jumping on this for, I'm going to get my name known, and she is. I mean, you know, Jordan Rodriguez, it's going to be a name that, you know, she's taking advantage of his answer.
This will help her career.
Yeah, absolutely. But April said, call me crazy. I'm more offended by her previous racist tweets than Cam's comments.
Oh, no.
And instead of the NFL making statements about what Cam said, they need to explain why Brandon Weeden has a job, but Cap doesn't, Colin Kaepernick. But there really is no need, because we all know why. So, but anyway, that's a deeper issue. But yeah, I don't know anything about this girl or her previous racist tweets. So
she was tweeting racist stuff
I think
Kaepernick?
I think what they do when someone becomes in the public spotlight, this is what they do with the people of Big Brother. They go back to their social media. They did that with Elena from Big Brother. And since then, she's deleted a shit ton of tweets, which were in race and nature. And she wants the spotlight, which is all great. But now, what were you doing in your spotlight, 3 years ago? Let's bring that shit up.
You better make sure you don't have any racist blemishes on your complexion.
That's what they do with everybody. They go back to your social media and they pull it all up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just the article one that's talking about it. Cam was wrong, and those tweets are horrible. Both can be plausible. And I think a lot of people are... I don't know if anybody's really, and I don't think they should, let Cam off the hook on all this. But, I mean, yeah, if there are, a couple things that are going on here. She said, here are some of the tweets that now are popping up from 2012. My dad is being super racist as we pass through Navajo land. He's the best. Racist jokes the whole drive home. That was one.
Okay.
She said the earth moves at 450 plus miles per hour. That's 10 times triller than NASCAR Dale Earnhardt's a bitch, the N-word.
What? I don't even understand that.
That's because you're old, Mama.
Is she a white girl, Jordan?
I think, Jordan is. Yeah, she's blonde and white.
She hot?
She's got a ball cap and glasses on in her Twitter profile, so it's hard to like really break her down.
It's just be careful when you call somebody out for their words when you've got shit that you.
Yeah,
said.
I mean, we've talked about this. If you're a white chick, you probably should not be using the N-word on your social media.
That's what notoriety does for you. I mean, yes, I think you wanted to be known, and you will be known. But everything will come out.
Just by the comments when we were talking about it on the show, it's not 100% on this girl's side. People were without a doubt blasting her past, and all this shit.
And it doesn't make one side right and the other one wrong.
No,
I mean, you can
it
have
doesn't.
situations where there are
they can
people
both be jerks, and in this case, it might be that. Because
What's
I know
that?
Cam's a jerk. I don't know about her yet, but if she's dropping N-bombs on her social media and she's a blonde-haired white girl,
Well, and honestly, if Cam had to answer for his comments, which he did, and she called him on it and went back and went after him and all this, and Cam's going to hear about it.
she's got to answer for
then
hers.
she needs to answer. People need
I
to read
agree.
these tweets and say, what would you like to say about you, white girl, using the N-word in a tweet?
I totally agree.
Racist jokes about Native Americans. What would you like to say about that? Seem to show some approval or humor in it, or
You're not
whatever it might
perfect
be.
either, so give us some kind of explanation for your bad behavior, chick.
Do you have anything on your social media that you're afraid that someone could come back and get you for? The only thing I have that I would be ashamed of, and Kevin actually got me on it. There was one time that I Facebook fished so bad. It was about me throwing.
No one's gonna get you for Facebook fishing.
No. But I'm just saying things that I'm ashamed of. I totally wrote a Facebook fishing, and I'm like, what the fuck were you thinking, dickface?
I think we are fortunate in this room because we were around before social media and we were on the radio before social media. So you know better.
You had a sensitivity to it.
You have a total sensitivity. If you're going back into Blondie's texts and tweets and stuff from 2012, that may have been before she knew she was going to have a job at a newspaper.
Yeah.
Well,
talk
it definitely was.
You talk a little more candidly when you think it's just you and your 27 friends on Twitter.
Well, I mean, if it's 2012, that was 5 years ago, she wasn't expecting to be in a thing with Cam Newton. I am not excusing it because she's a fucking idiot for ever doing that.
But
You're
if
an
she
idiot.
was working at a newspaper in 2012 doing that, she's just dumb and deserves whatever happens.
Yeah, that's no, anything like that. No, I would probably, the worst thing for me, if you went through my Twitter, you probably bring in a couple. If I heard them, like I'd probably cringe.
That's what mine was cringy. My Facebook,
that's a real
my
dumb
Facebook was
comment.
cringy.
I was trying to be funny or something like that, and it's just like I'd be in here sweating. I'd be like,
I'm the same way.
I don't
I don't
think
want
you
to
persecute me for it, but they're just dumb. Like I probably had a couple drinks, thought I was funny. Like, hey, listen to this joke. People are gonna love it. And I forget about it because I was drinking. And
Yes.
then,
Oh, there's been
and then it
times.
just sits there, and I forget about it. You come back and be like, hey, Kev, tell me about this comment.
There's been times where I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I do last night? Delete. It's not because it's bad, but it's cringy.
Little off
It's
the
the
mark.
nighttime tweets on the weekend
It's-
that will get you.
Yeah, I don't know. When I said stuff in my past, I meant cringy stuff that I would just get like, oh, burn. What
Cringy,
the
yes,
fuck?
yes, racist things like that.
No.
Absolutely not.
No,
Yeah.
none of that stuff.
No. Let me see. Audrey, with a little bit of a story. We were talking about the soccer team that was kicked out of Epcot. It was, I think, a mix of some soccer players. There's one, I don't know anything about soccer, but it's a female soccer player that's popular. Some people know her name, and I can't remember off the top of my head. And then a couple people from the Orlando, the professional team that plays there. They were drinking together and doing the world, drinks around the world kind of thing. And they were like 8 hours in. They got kicked out for foul language. And Audrey said, yeah, I've been kicked out of Epcot on my birthday for being drunk / screaming / cussing and crying.
Oh, that sounds like a tornado.
It was after Japan when we got to France.
Japan.
Japan and France, that's the doozies
Yes,
for me. 'Cause
yes.
I love champagne and I love sake.
That really is
Yeah.
where a lot of people fall
Yeah.
apart. That's where I fell apart at.
Mexico, I just want to tell you, tequila. I've had a lot of moments. I think what it is for me with Mexico, it's not maybe that's where I got drunk, but that's where I'm like going, I'm hammered and I'm like alarmed. Like, when you're like going, oh God, I shouldn't be this drunk. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
This is where it's going to go downhill.
I'll know that feeling later on today at the 5K.
I usually have that realization in Mexico. Yeah. That's mine. She said, and I wanted to tell my boyfriend about the French culture, and he couldn't care less. So I got upset and I cried. And I tried to walk away from him, and this started a World War III scene in the middle of Epcot.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
he was so like, come on, really?
And the workers were grabbing my arm saying, ma'am, we need you to leave the property. There are children here. As I replied, I'm fucking leaving.
This is all because he went to listen to the French culture lesson. I love it. You're drunk. You think it means the world. It means diddly dick.
The cherry on the top of this, I was wearing the happy birthday Mickey pin on my shirt. and all Disney employees are required to say happy birthday to you when they see you with the pin. So as I'm storming out of Epcot, crying my eyes out, at least 5 employees are like, happy birthday.
Fuck you.
And I couldn't take it off. So I was too drunk, so I had my pin and I just threw it into the lake in the middle of Epcot.
Oh.
I still have yet to make it all the way to the UK or Canada, so I will for sure be back for round 2. LOL.
That's
story.
a great email.
I'm fucking leaving. All right. Okay.
Because her boyfriend didn't give a shit about French culture. Well, she's probably drunk trying to explain it. He's just like, can we just have fun?
I get it. French culture is important.
Well, why are you going to keep talking about French culture? I just want to enjoy the day. That's awesome.
Oh, and if you're with that person and they're that drunk, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, I don't care today about French culture. There is a petition that is up on our Facebook page.
Uh-oh.
Mandy said, I just started the petition. KVJ show, make Jaybird date again. And I wanted to see if you could help by adding your name to it.
Can we please not do this?
My goal is to reach 100 signatures, and I need more support. You can read more and sign the petition here, and it looks like it somehow made it onto our Facebook page.
Come on, guys. Why do we got to keep fucking doing this?
Oh, Mandy put it up there.
I'll sign it. I need to know what's going on.
There's nothing
no one
going
on the show had
on.
anything, I didn't have anything to do with it.
I'm dating nobody for the ninth time. I'm not dating anybody.
Well, you will date again. We hope. That's what this petition's about.
Yeah,
we
but-
want to get you dating again.
Okay, I'll start dating when you guys leave me the fuck alone. How about that?
No.
Well, I don't get it.
I need to be involved. I'm not going to stop bringing it up.
Yeah.
By the way, I have not signed the petition yet, so.
No, but
we'll get him.
I didn't send the petition, but I printed up the email and I made sure I read it and I made sure that it's on the Facebook.
Shared it on all my social platforms.
Yeah, but no, it's not my fault. Sincere Kev, which sounds like the smuggiest Kev.
I just checked it out. It says KVJ Nation's beloved Jason Jaybird Pennington, a.k.a. Lonely Eyes, is...
Can we stop this shit?
So lonely.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow. It does actually pop up where you can sign the petition. That's
good.
convenient. It
Will
says...
you sign my name for me?
No, I wouldn't do that.
Come on.
It says, we adore him, and we want nothing more than for him to be happy. We
Thank
want
you.
Bird to get out there, date, and find Mrs. Right.
Thank you.
By the way, not everyone adores the bird. Trust me.
Oh,
no,
that's
no, no.
not true.
It is so true. Second of all,
Most people adore the bird.
Says, we have set him up with a wonderful girl through hookup or hang-up. However, he refuses to let his family know if he ever went out with her and how it went. We want to know the details. Also, Aunt Ann would approve of this message.
you don't know what the fuck Aunt Ann wants.
She wants you to not be lonely. I know
She
that.
did say that, yeah.
She did say that on this airwave.
I am so not lonely. I like sad music, sure. Yeah, I drink alone every now and then.
Okay.
Doesn't mean you're lonely.
Just so you know, a good sign. So far, only 3 people have signed the petition.
Because nobody gives a shit about this.
That's not true.
It is true.
It's not true.
Okay, we'll check back
We
tomorrow.
want to know if your privates are getting sticky.
My privates are not getting sticky.
Well, they are if he's jerking
Well,
off.
I'm sure you're masturbating with syrup.
You're right. I do. You know what? I actually masturbate when I watch my lizard/iguanas fuck on my patio. That's how weird Bird is.
All right.
All right. Sincere Kev.
I don't think he's giving us any answers today, Kev.
No, I mean, it's just, I'm just letting people know it's there.
All right, cool. Well, what else we got on the agenda?
Noel says, I got a theory about Jaybird's verbal crutch. Question. And I hope he never stops using it. I've always thought it was because he was a big The Office fan like me in the early seasons, and Dwight used to always say that to Jim. I miss The Office being in my life, so I hope Jaybird never stops saying question.
She's completely right. I got that from Dwight Schrute. He would always go, question. And it became a thing in my own vocabulary. But yeah, good call.
Okay.
That's an Office fan. We're like a fraternity, Kev.
Is that what it is?
Or a sorority.
Maybe you should date her. She gets you.
Okay, very nice.
He just shot me the stankiest stank eye.
No, I did not. Whatever. Gosh, you blow everything out of fucking... It's so...
I have a vagina. What do you want? That's what we do. I blow shit out of
Dude,
proportion.
you should never say that to a man. I have a vagina. What do you want?
Yeah. They say if you would have just told us, Jaybird, what was going on in your dating life, this would all be over.
I just told you there's nothing going on in my dating
We don't
life.
buy it.
But then where am I at then? If I tell you the truth and then you don't believe me, should I just sit here in silence and say, I'm not dating anybody?
No, you should start dating people and tell us about it.
I don't want to date anybody right now.
Why?
For a billion reasons, I don't want to date anybody.
We want you to.
Okay.
Cool. I mean, yeah, aren't you bored of this, Kev, too?
Well, we'll just see where the petition is tomorrow.
So
Let's-
bored with
let's
it.
leave
Everyone's
at that.
bored. Like, I'm getting comments right now. All right, guys, who gives a fuck about birds' love life? At KVJ Show.
This morning on the regular show, I threw out there, I'm like going, ugh, I was like looking, there's like a hurricane that is going to be going up the Gulf. And,
Hurricane Nate.
It's going to be a Cat 1. Those are more annoying than anything. But, yeah, like what would that mean for the Florida State Seminoles in the Miami Hurricanes game on Saturday that I was going to go up to Tallahassee for? I actually checked the forecast because I let the Queen know. And actually Saturday looks like a beautiful day in Tallahassee. Sunday's when it looks like it's going to get crappy.
So you're
So
going.
you're getting out of town early Sunday, right?
Yeah, we're gonna get right up. That was the one. There was somebody from here that was like, "Oh, let's drive together," but I'm like, I'm so tweaky about that. I'm like, I have to be on the road by like 7 or 8 a.m. and I got to get back. I got to get prepped. I got to get slept.
You don't like to be trapped. And
no,
I get that.
And I've been in that situation. That happened one time when I went to Key West. And we were with people, and we couldn't find them, and we were all riding back together. And the same thing, I had to work on Monday, and they're just casual about it because they don't have that. And it's like 1 o'clock. We left Key West, and I got home like it wound up being like 8 o'clock. No prep, no nothing. I came in here. The show just sucked ass the next day, and I'm like, nah.
One of the worst cases of me being stuck somewhere where I had no way of getting back was when we took that boat out in Key West. It was Virginia, Mariana, and myself.
Yeah.
And they were, at the point, they did not like each other. And I'm on the fucking boat. And then Virginia gets us beached. Now we are stuck there for hours. I know I've told this story before, but it's still, I need to get it out more.
Yeah.
Because it was that awful.
No, you got to watch with the boat thing. I went out on a boat one time with this other couples, my wife and I, and boy, Caitlin was young. Caitlin was probably like 7 or 8. She was with us. And we were out there, thought we had some cocktails. It was a great day. They started fighting.
What?
Like just nasty.
Who
and
did?
like
The couple.
this couple that we were with on the
Okay.
boat. And luckily we made it over to Peanut Island, but it was so bad. I'm like, I think we're gonna get off here.
We'll swim back.
I did, and I was going around like just looking for him. I'm like, hey, can anybody like when you go into shore, can I go into? And so we were going
There's
around.
a ferry.
Yeah,
What did-
we were going around, and I can't remember if we took the ferry or if I found someone else and I got a ride back with them. But either way, I'm like going, you got to watch the boat thing. Like that's bad too, being out on a boat.
What was the level of the fight? Was it like, fuck this, man, I'm done?
They split up a couple weeks later.
Really?
Yeah, it was the end of
Oh, it was so bad they couldn't even hide it in front of you guys.
It was so bad that it was, and I think that's what got it going, the way they were fighting. And I'm just like, I got my kid on here, like,
Yeah.
Oh, what a nightmare.
I don't need this. I'm like,
No, you're
as soon as
I
possible.
didn't even want to go on this damn boat.
No, I'm like, I need to get off this thing. Like,
That's how I felt with Virginia. I didn't even want to go on this thing. Now we're beached.
yeah, it's the worst. So yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on that forecast. Keep an eye on the forecast for today too, man. I hate crappy weather, but
1 o'clock still the call date.
yeah, for a couple hours. Like I said, by the time most people are listening to this, it'll already be decided. So
Is it clearing up?
Last night when we were out, I will give Denny some credit that I was saying to people as they're coming up, I'm like, if this is what the weather's like, it was overcast but breezy and cool, I'm like, this would be perfect 5K weather.
Yes, it was gorgeous last night.
Yeah, it was nice. It was really nice, and it felt great to be outside, and, I didn't get hit with any rain. So if
I
that
actually think it's
happens,
going to be
great.
okay.
Yeah, I think so too. But
I hope
if you got any
so.
questions, go to the Facebook page, and you'll find out there. Hopefully, we see everybody tonight at the KVJ 5K. So have an amazing day, and we'll talk to y'all later. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.